Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all having a really awesome day. And if you're not, I hope this video makes your day even better. Today we are going to be reviewing the brand new Shane Dawson x Jeffree Star Cosmetics Conspiracy Palette. There was a lot of items in this collection, but this was the one that we got yesterday at their meet and greet in Mall of America. And let me tell you guys, that line was 6 hours long. So it is a great thing that we even were able to get this palette. All right, without further ado, let's dig into the Conspiracy palette. For your reference, this palette has 18 shades and is retailed at $52. All right. So here is the inside of the Conspiracy palette. There is 6 shades per row, and there is a great big mirror for those of you who like using palette mirrors. And I love this palette because it is split up. Jeffree actually showed this in one of his Snapchats. But this row is kind of like your everyday wear. This row is kind of your daring party wear. And this row is more for New Year's parties and Christmas and Halloween and all that goodness. Alright, so let's start swatching. The first shade in the entire palette is a white shade, and it is called Ranch. Just making sure you guys are able to see it all. There is Ranch. It is just a plain white shade. No metallics, no shimmers, no nothing. A great buildable shade. Shade number 2 is called My Pills. This is a light baby pink shade. It kind of matches my skin tone a little bit, so you might not be able to see it the best, but that's My Pills, and it's a nice pink shade. I get kind of worried with pink shades just because they're the ones that tend to be really dark and kind of neon-y, and sometimes you don't always want that, but this is a nice light shade. The third shade is called Tanacon, and this is a light brown shade. All right, so there is Tanacon, just your plain brown shade. Another good shade for neutral looks and smoky eyes. Alright, our next shade is called Diet Root Beer, and this is kind of a darker brown. Right. There is Diet Root Beer. They both kind of look like chocolate, but this one just has more of coppery undertones rather than the Tanacon shade, which is more light neutral undertones. Alright, next up is Just a Theory, which I believe is the first metallic in the whole palette. And we're also rhyming today, apparently. So that is Just a Theory. It's mostly a copper shade, unlike Diet Root Beer, where the copper undertones were just that undertones. This one is mostly just copper for the main shade. Alright, next up is another metallic, kind of a shimmer shade mostly, and it is called Spiraling. This one definitely has a lot of pigment. This one is kind of like a black brown color, more black than brown, but obviously you can tell that the color is there. There is a slight metallic shimmeriness, but but not too much. So if you're just going for a smoky look, you won't have to worry about your eyes going all sparkly. Alright, so that is actually the first row all swatched. Alright, now we're going to move on to the second row. The first shade in the second row is called Conspiracy. I believe. Sorry, the camera slipped. We were kind of shocked. I believe this is another metallic. Alright. So there's Conspiracy, spiraling kind of mixed into it a little bit, but the pigment is there so you can see it. It is mostly just a metallic. There's no regular color undertone. So just like Just a Theory, it is a straight metallic. Coming up next is another pink. This one is darker than My Pills. It is called Pigment, as in pigment. Right, there is Pigment. This is no metallic, it is just a straight pink, and as you can tell, the difference between My Pills and Pigment is definitely there, and this definitely has the right name. Alright, so next up is called Food Videos, and this one is a straight neon yellow. Shades are kind of going to start mixing a little bit, just because they're all really close to each other, but we're still going to be able to see the main color hue. Now we are going to be continuing our swatches with shade Trisha. Alright, there is Trisha. It is a very dark pink. Compared to the first two we've seen, My Pills was kind of a light pink, and Pigment was definitely a pink, but can we just say that this is the real pink of the palette? It is actually, there's no like metallicness to it. I was actually kind of shocked. It looked like it might be, but I think it's just like mildly there. So if you want like a pink bold look, this one is definitely a contender, just because there's not a whole lot of metallic, which I kind of like when I'm doing darker looks, just because I will add sparkle a little bit somewhere else, so I don't need a lot of it in my shadow. So you decide whether that's a good or a bad thing. Alright, next is Cheese Dust. This one is supposed to mimic actual Cheeto dust, and I think they accomplished that. This is just a straight orange hue, and there's no metallic, no shimmer. It's actually a pretty soft orange compared to some of the other like really bright oranges. So this one wouldn't be bad for some normal looks, I guess. And as I'm applying these shades, I can definitely tell you that they're really soft. They're not any weird texture ones. They're all just easy to put on, and I feel like they'd be really easy to apply with a brush. Some of them you just might want to wet your brush just so you can get the full pigment. Alright. The last shade in the second row is called Flaming Hot. And this one is kind of like a red-orange color. Actually, it might just be kind of a red color. And I really like this color because it's kind of hard to find like red eyeshadow. Like red eyeshadow and red lipstick are like really hard to come by. Like the really, really red pigmented ones that you just like, you don't want like a red orange or like a red yellow or like whatever red you can mix with anything else. You just want like a straight red. And this, I feel, is that. Alright, so moving on to the last row. What's the tea? This one is kind of like robin's egg blue, I would say. It's not like a bright sky blue or neon blue, but it's also not like a white blue almost. So I'd call this like robin's egg shade. Alright, next is another metallic. This is called Diet Cola. Alright, this is definitely a metallic, no doubt about it. It's just silver, which is always really good because sometimes when you're doing like looks for New Year's or Christmas, you want a silver eyeshadow, but you can never seem to find a silver eyeshadow. They're always like mixed with other colors, and then it kind of throws off your whole look. So this, if you're one of those people who just wants a straight silver shadow, this is your color. Alright, next up is Not a Fact. Okay, so this is like, I call it like a maroon purple, if that makes sense. In the pan it looks maroonish, but like on my hand or on my arm, it looks more purple, definitely. So this is definitely for those people who want really bold looks. If you're not into bold looks like this, I would recommend not using this color just because it is much darker than most of the other colors in the palette and it's kind of hard to mask. Alright, next up is called Sleep Paralysis. This is another metallic color, and forgive the purple, I've been using the same finger for all my swatches, so they've kind of rubbed off on each other. But this one I would call more of a gray or black metallic than a silver metallic. Kind of like a coal color almost. So that's that color. And again, forgive the mix of shades. I apologize. Alright, so I re-swatched Sleep Paralysis just because that one kind of mixed with Not a Fact a lot. So here you can kind of see the real shade. And as I said, it's definitely a kind of silver black mix. And I think this would look really good in like the corner of your eye. And probably you could use it as a little bit of highlighter. Alright, next we're going to be moving on to Illuminati. And I think this is another metallic, but it might just be a regular shade. Pans and the real thing kind of look a little different, just for your reference. Alright. Oh yeah, that's definitely a metallic green. And it's a really cool metallic green, actually. You can't really find those very well. It's always like a lime green or a dark green. This is a good mix. And actually, this color combination that's on my arm right now would look really awesome together. I'm just saying. So I might have just given you a look idea. If I did, credit me. Alright, the last shade in this entire palette is here, you guys. This one is called My Ride Is Here. And it is a black, black, black. Alright. That is My Ride's Here. That is supposed to like be like his Uber That's like one of his lines in all of his video. So that's definitely like black. I don't know why I keep repeating black all the time. Like, you can see that it's black. But it's definitely like a good shade. I don't know why, but these three colors are like calling to me, and I feel like you could play around with them a lot. This might be my New Year's Christmas look. Keep a lookout for Instagram if you really want to see if that comes true. Alright, that is the entire palette swatched, believe it or not. And I think it's time to wrap this up. And I think I'm gonna wipe this off my arm, and then I'll give you my final thought. Alright, so believe it or not, you guys, we have reached the end of this palette review. Just to recap, this is the palette in all of the colors, 18 shades, 6 shades per row. There's plenty of colors to play around with and kind of experiment with. And if you would like to get this for yourself, unfortunately it is sold out online, but you can still get it in any Morphe store that is close to you. If you do any looks with this, I would like to see them, just to like see what everybody else is doing. So be sure to tag me. I'm on Instagram, I'm on Twitter. Those are just at Carhill765 and at CarolineGH16. And I also have a blog if you would like to read that as well. That's just www.fashionfunandextra.com. Alright, hopefully I will see you next Wednesday. I hope you all have a fantastic day. Remember, be kind, be magical, be you. See you.